So today we are going to talk about it. It is a little bit different topic, but I think it's going to be really, really interesting. And then we'll try to make sure that it's really engaging. So without doing any further delay, let's get into the topic. So basically, I'm going to talk about the recent conferences happened in United States. It's technically in Silicon Valley. The conference has been organized by the Indian diaspora and the other foundations are there. They have basically organized this conference, and where their few prime speakers were there. Some spokespersons are Indian American, and then some of them are working in the Washington D.C. office with the New Delhi office. So they're trying to collaborating with American government and Indian government, although they are Indian diaspora I'm talking about. Some interesting facts came up, so which I thought to cover up in this week, and it's really, really latest. If you guys want to have, have check it out that video, then you can go to YouTube and search something like JSI Deepak new conference video in Silicon Valley, something like that. You will get it. So why I mentioned JSI Deepak? Probably you have know about him. He is one of the renowned Supreme Court lawyer for the land and litigation, specifically the religious litigation. He's, I think, looking into this domain. Don't call me on this. I think so, but I know he's a lawyer. He's practicing in Supreme Court at Delhi. Some of his work are related to on this niche. So in this talk, basically they talked about why being India is a very prime ally when it's concerned when it comes to the United States of America. They made it really, really clear, even though these spokespersons were Indian American, but basically they were uh, working on behalf of American government and trying to tie up with the Indian government on different mm, things or project they're working. So we will get into those things like in a few minutes. But before that, I would like to cover some important talks which was happened in that conversation. Primarily, they have mentioned that right now the condition we have in this world, there is only few countries are available in this world who does not have any conflicts with rest of the world, and they need not necessarily are part of any particular ally or group. So when we talk about that thing, then only one thing come in mind according to them is India, Bharat. Why? Being Bharat is the center of focus. Is it only because of the economical growth we are having? Or is it because of the technological advancements are happening? Or is it because of India is being having, old civilizational values and technically it's one of the old living civilization? Or is it like India is friendly with almost every single nation in this world? So, what are the main reasons? I would say short answer is yes to everything, and it's pretty much amalgamation of everything. So, when I talk about the cultural, reclamation in India, there is a really I would say it's a national level awakening is happening. Not only within this land of Bharat, we are called, is outside the India. The Indian diasporas are like almost in America. If I only talk about is more than 5 million Indian Americans, and over 2 millions are in process. So if I talk about outside like India, they're probably close to 30 to 40 million people right now, those who are having maybe Indian passport or maybe their passport got changed. Anyway, so when I talk about the Indian diaspora, it really plays a vital role in order to reshaping or making narratives outside the country, because within the country we can do as much as we can with the help of media, other platforms. Outside the nation, they're the one who is working on this. So they primarily hammer on that India is having one of the oldest living civilization right now in this world, and because of the value ethics, probably the right word would be the civilizational values we have, and because of that, primarily is of course is because of the Hindu religion, because Hindu is the oldest religion in India, and I think it is not controversial, but it is a fact. Sanatana Dharma is the oldest religion, uh, probably right now in the world, because we do not have any other proofs of other religion. Anyway, so this is not the even topic we're getting into. So they said, according to them, India is being able to solve all these kinds of critical conflicts in the world, which is not possible for other nations even to get into, because most of the nations, they are having their, some of their allies, some of their, against them, they're into different groups, which is not the case in the case of India. So they emphasize, because of its civilizational value, and the culture is really evolving, is continuous evolving, and because of that, the leadership right now in India, they're able to hold that thing in the global arena. And India is really, really pretty clear, and when it comes to the national like policy, when it comes to the external affairs with other countries. So those are the things they highlighted. They also said there is a cultural reclamation is happening within the country, and especially within the youth, and which is a great thing. They are not now like so-called those Marxist leftist and wookist, those who brainwashed. They have been brainwashing, by the way, so far, uh, through the different domains within the country, through media, educational institute, to corporates, and you name it, through NGOs and all kinds of BS they have been doing. But it's somehow, it seems like it's not working anymore, because the method, the system they had is kind of now orthodox. It's not working anymore, and because of that, there is a, you know there is a reclamation upsurge is happening within the country, among the, especially among the youths. So that was one of the point they have pointed out. And the next thing they have mentioned, right now, based on the current economic growth India is having, and while they're also considering the other future forecasts, and based on that, they're saying the economical growth they have, the economical, the robust engine they have, along with the civilizational values, which basically they can pretty much address any conflict in the world right now. What happened in between I mean the Russia and Ukraine, you name it, even in Israel and Gaza. So India has been playing their own role, and it's pretty much clear where exactly they stand. Not in influence of anyone, any big eyes or anything. India is pretty much clear what they exactly they stand for. So these are the few things they have said. And like when it comes to any, climate change like aspect as well. So India has signed the solar energy initiatives, and India has been already working on these projects. Third thing would be the Save Soil campaign, which has been happening from past 2 years, and Indian government, they have shown their interest, they have committed, and more than 2 billion Indian rupees has been already invested in this process. So they also mentioned that when it comes to the sustainability and the climate change, India is, I think, taking really, really robust steps in order to tackle that thing. It's fully committed and 100% involved in that thing. So these are the few things we are primarily considering while we are making new deals and new relationship. When I talk about new relationship, they primarily mention about something called ISET, which I think last year, last year in the month of June or July, when Prime Minister Modi has a United States visit, and at that time they signed some treaty. It's a new project, I think. So it's ISET is technically means is basically the all the emerging technology we have, the critical emerging technology. For example, the AI, the artificial intelligence right now. Based on this thing, what kind of investment India is willing to take, and what like how Indian I mean the US government, or like primarily the US companies, how much they are willing to invest in. Like next thing would be military, in terms of the in terms of upgrading the military, what kind of technology. So because they are thinking India is going to be one of the latest technology having in the area of military. um, equipment and all kinds of stuff after Israel. But Israel is a little bit expensive, and they're thinking India would be the most preferable option because it's economical and it's really not compromising in when it comes to the quality. The next other avenue they addressed is like when it comes to the people to people talk or maybe geopolitical issues they are handling pretty much clear on that, which is also one of the main things they have emphasized on. And the main factor they have mentioned was the primary factor I would say of the talk was the chipset, I mean the semiconductor and the chips. So they said this is going to be the game changer because the amount of semiconductor and chips US is going to import from India is right now the numbers are really crazy. It's $200 billion. So they're saying it's going to increase significantly from 2024 and 2025 onwards. So they're saying all the good things they're saying it's really really strategic partner for like for US. India is really really strategic partner when it comes to all the things which I have named because they have said is right now like when it comes to the security and the maritime practices right now I think almost 14 ships and submarines and all of those things right now they're operating in Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean along with the Indian Navy. So these are the things they also few mentioned. They said in past few years the like trade entire trade is went up to $200 billion, I think, which is a significant number for India, and it is really 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 essential for India's growth. Like what our Prime Minister Modi has mentioned that in next 20-25 years India is going to be a developed nation. I think in order to make it happen India would be needing lots of you know outside funds. And if this is the case, within the country, we won't be able to make it. We won't be able to become a developed country within the country. I mean, if we only talk about the domestic economy, we need investments from outside. Investments we are getting from UAE. Investments we are getting from America and other partners, especially Japan and then Saudi Arabia. They're also predominantly investing. Israel is also one of them. So the thing is, certainly we'd be needing outside funds in order to make this engine going on and to make it happen. I mean the growth rate we have and constantly increasing the growth rate because I mean we won't be able to make it even the growth rate we have. We need to increase it exponentially, and then in order to make it happen, so these are the outside factors. Of course, it's not to mention that in US is going to be one of the prime ally of India in this growth story. And these are the things because primarily they are again emphasizing on the civilizational values and the cultural ethics India has. And because of that, India was able to survive after thousands of years of invasion and colonizations and imperialism. And still, India is thriving. Again, when it comes to the business, I think it makes sense, and they also understand how much India is important, and it's vice versa for India as well. So I think this is the few things I would like to I wanted to mention because I know probably is off topic, but again it's related to India, and I think it's related to the youth also some way. So I wanted to emphasize on that because Indian youth, they are really really right now. They're enhancing their skills, they're enhancing their awareness, and they are learning from all the historical myths which like we have been taught in our schools by the institutions. So we are basically tertiary learner now. We have done our schools graduation, everything's done, we are working. Some of them probably a family, we're learning from other sources. These are independent writers, they're coming up with recent research work they have done, and they're coming up with a great they're revealing all these historical myths. All right, having said that, we will be slowly shifting gears in terms of the topics. Maybe in upcoming episodes you will be seeing that I'm talking on Indian history or some other things, specifically the historical myths. Like these are the history needs to be reached, and those are the things because ultimately our targets uh, are basically to enhancing and to spreading the awareness among the Indian youths, specifically those age group from, I would say, from 15 to 35. This age group, it's going to be really, really significantly important if someone out there is able to, get this information and going to, change their mindset. The paradigm shift they will happen is definitely it's going to be the game changer, and I certainly believe this. All right. With having said this, we'll see you in the next episode. Over and out.